Let's get right to it because we have a lot of information to cover this evening. Jim Christiansen is my first guest. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Athens.
I was just flipping through your Artist Open Studio Tour map and ticket book, and I noticed that there were a lot of not only oil paintings, but pastels, jewelry, and sculptures even. Tell me about what's going on.
Okay, this is put on by the Stanislaus County Regional Roundtable for Tourism and Travel. It's actually through the Modesto Convention and Visitors Bureau, Turlock Convention and Visitors Bureau, the different Chamber of Commerce. The idea is to make it more like a destination county for art. So we have over 75 artists this year.
You know, I've heard that we're getting on the map finally for Graffiti Summer in June with tourism and all kinds of music and reverting back to the 1950s theme. But I did not ever think about being on the tourist map for art.
Well, it's much like our independent music scene. There's a lot of art going on. Stanislaus State's always been kind of a treasure for that when I came up here in the 1970s. Good art department. We will have some students on this one from the Gallery 909 at the Art Walk. This one, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got jewelry, photography.
I see that, yes.
We've got some ceramics, sculptures, wood, paintings of all sorts.
Penguins.
Penguins, definitely penguins. Now, each one of these in our map booklet, it's available for $10. Be picked up at Mifflin Gallery starting tomorrow, and the Chartreuse Muse, and on our website, which is stanislausaos.wordpress.com. It's available by PayPal, and it gets you an entry to win one of our 5 purchase prize of original artworks.
Right, one of these 5 that are listed here on the front.
And the entry form is on the back. And what that is that the purchase prize, we had a juried show from our early bird registration. Each one was paid for its regular retail price, and they're going to be given away in a drawing during the April 14th and 15th event.
Now, this is a 2-day event, and before we came on the air, we were talking about a 3-weekend event with 300 artists over in Santa Cruz. Is that your goal, to become a multi-weekend event with...
If we can.
Yeah.
I mean, we're showing that we have 75 artists for this tour that are willing to open their studios. Just in Mifflin Gallery, there's over 200 to 300 members there. Carnegie must have a couple hundred. The same weekend, a Patterson Art and Wine Gala goes on. They'll have 100 artists out there. In Oakdale, they'll have the Western Art Show, 30 artists there. And that's just same weekend in our county.
Now, when you first explained this to me, I was a little confused because I thought that it was kind of like an art walk, just a one-evening event. But this is a 2-day event, and it looks like it's at the actual artist studios.
It's going to be at the professional studios, the home studios,
there
the
are
various
maps
artists.
Inside
You won't have the regular gallery studio. For instance, the Chartreuse Muse is going to be on this one, but it's the life drawing artists that have been working in the upstairs studio. So you go in the back door of the studio and up the stairs. There'll be 3 artists there. That's just one of the stops of the 75 artists that we have. But it'll show you where they have the printmaking press, or maybe they've got the kilns lined up. So you may come out to my garage, see how my printmaking works, and see my laundry room office. I really have a laundry room office. My cat took people on tours, but that's where I actually paint. It's actually where I do my digital work, painting in the front yard, on the dining room table, that sort of thing. So it's a real sense of where the artist actually creates the work.
So it's kind of like a working artist tour as well, not
Exactly.
just touring the galleries.
Yeah, and you know, we all have a gallery at home. I have my own local art friends and my other collectible stuff. So I have to show the bedroom gallery space, but I have the dining room gallery there too, but it's also where I've got my piles of art and my drawing notebooks and things like that, the actual paints I use. And we find that people are very interested in how we actually create things.
I find that too, because for people who are not an artist or a musician in that field, they find it very fascinating how you've taken just plain canvas and a pile of colors and turn them into a piece of art.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting for the people who are actually buying the ticket and going on the tour.
And our booklet is broken up by the different zip codes, but also will give you an indication of what kind of art. I do printmaking, cartoon, and painting. Virginia White does photography in addition to her paintings. So those are the kind of things that we'll see that's a little different than if you go straight down to one of the galleries and see a group show or a single show for one artist.
I noticed that there are many, many different artists in here. I mean, I was fascinated because I thought it was going to be just like oil painting or pastels, but there is a variety. What's nice too is it shows within the booklet samples of the work as well as the map, so, and a place for notes. So if you really like the artwork, you can make a notation there in the booklet. And the booklet is your ticket.
The booklet is the ticket. It gets you the entry form to the drawing, but this gives you the actual guided tour. It's listing in the front to plan for what kind of artist and who you want to see. It's all over the county. So we're in Oakdale, Turlock, Modesto, Salida, Houston, Denair, Riverbank, and I think we're also in Manteca, Ripon is the adjacent county, and Escalon.
Hence the reason why it's 2 days.
This is a gateway. We have artists also from Merced and Tuolumne County. So we have some from Coulterville, Groveland, and Sonora that do their primary showing and work down here. Or they're in Merced and do a lot of their work in jewelry from the Feddersons, I think, are two of our artists from there. So it's showing that we're kind of a regional art center.
You brought some posters here too.
Yes, I
and
did.
They look just like the front of the booklet. And I imagine that you're going to be having those in some coffee houses around town?
We have 500 of these posters going up all around town where we can in the galleries in Lodi, Sacramento, places like that, trying to, again, it's the idea of bring in outsiders, come in and see it, as well as our community around the county.
You mentioned in the beginning that it's part of the tourism, kind of to jumpstart tourism for artists. Are you working with the CVB, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, with this?
Yeah, Modesto Convention and Visitors Bureau and Turlock Convention and Visitors Bureau will both have maps on sale. I just talked to Jennifer Mullen this morning. We're getting ready for an event tomorrow downtown on 10th Street where we're starting the actual booklet sale. So our thing was the love of art, start on Valentine's Day. It's exactly 2 months or 60 days ahead of our 2-day event. We'll also have a preview at Gallows Center on April 12th. That's free to the public. That's the last chance to buy a map to get on the tour. And we had just numerous people. We had 175 people just through my house last year, and I was in the kind of odd spot middle of the map for last year's event where we had 53 artists, and the average was around 200 people at each stop. We have over 1,000 tickets and maps to sell. The benefit in that is that we can easily accommodate that many people around. It's very difficult to make this tour in 1 day or even 2.
I can see that. You brought some hearts. I guess these are for your sale tomorrow?
These are for our sale tomorrow, and they will be at our different places like Mislin Gallery, the Chartreuse Muse.
This is too small to see on the screen, but it says, for the joy of art, purchase an Artist Open Studio Tour map.
These are the brainchild of our chairman, Alice Richards, who actually sits on the Stanislaus Regional Roundtable. And she is an artist herself. But Alice is one that will kind of do anything to make a pitch for one of these things. And we're going to be at Beckles Candy Shop tomorrow. Can't say we got these from them. I don't know where Alice got the good deal on that donation. We will also have bookmarks, and the bookmarks have the purchase price paintings on them, and the backside is simply the kind of diversity of the art that we're showing and the contact information in our online stuff. Our phone number is really kind of easy to come up with, another Alice idea. Area code 209-222-TOUR, T-O-U-R.
Oh, that is good.
So we're hoping
very
that's
good.
easy to remember. We had a lot of phone reservations and information line last year. And if anyone wants to call in, reserve a map tonight, they just call 209-222-TOUR.
You were mentioning that last year you had 53 artists, this year you have 75.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, I imagine you're hoping to get a few more. Does it cost the artist anything to be involved in this program?
It cost us all of $20 to register for the publicity of what it takes to help us create the map. We're also trying to recover some of those printing costs in the ticket sale price. The idea is that you express an interest at that point, you're in. I mean, it helps us cover some costs. It's a great deal for us as artists. Then the problem is having the studio ready for the public.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where it comes in. There will be art for sale. There's no commission charged by the tourism people. They're wanting the public to come meet. If you want to make an offer, each studio is a little different.
You also mentioned that you expect about 1,000 people coming through.
Well, we have 1,000 maps. I mean, we'd like to see 1,000 people out. We had several hundred maps sold last year.
Who does the revenue benefit? Do you have a collaborative co-op of artists that this goes to?
Well, this is essentially a nonprofit association. It's initiative number 11 from the Tourism Roundtable. The money that has been generated goes into the printing of the posters, the distribution of the maps, the production of the maps, and the bookmarks. But also, we have used the purchase prices. They were juried. We had enough to buy directly from the artists 5 pieces to give away. So the artists were paid what they were asking.
That is so nice.
And we had a final jury list of 10. We were able to get down the list of 5.
I admire you for not trying to undercut your own.
This is my first year actually being part of the committee where I'm doing some of the publicity work for them. But last year is when they came up with it. I think they had expected to buy 1 purchase award. They were able to get 3 with the kind of turnout.
Good.
So they were over projections last year. We're hoping to do the same this year.
Very good.
So.
Now, this show is going to be uploaded to YouTube, hopefully within a week or so we can get this up to YouTube for you.
We'll have a link on our website.
Okay. And before you go, give me the information so I can actually put it into the text of that segment for YouTube. What is your website and your phone number again, and also where people will be able to buy these in person?
Okay. The posters will start in the downtown areas, downtown Modesto, but also at Artel Art Center, Chartreuse Muse down on 10th Street, Miss Lynn Gallery. We'll probably be at First Street Framery in Turlock and Carnegie Art Center. We'll be out at Oakdale at the Chamber of Commerce and the Modesto Convention and Visitors Bureau. Our website is stanislawAOS.wordpress.com. Our email address is it's Stanislaw.openstudio.
That's right. You can text it to me
later. I'll give you that one later. But our phone number is easy to remember. It's 209-222-TOUR.
Yeah, I've already memorized that, so that's good.
That's good, because I just blew it with our email. But that's one of the problems of having so many things that we're doing as a way to order the tickets. Mm-hmm. The WordPress has a PayPal. There may be a small charge for the send out of the booklet, or you can arrange to pick it up, and we're happy to get them. Like I said, Gallo Center will be in the lobby at Gallo Center April 12th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We will be emphasizing the map sales, but each artist will have a representative piece for the show. So it's a free to the public preview.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
So we have a bonus on that this year.
Well, if all else fails as far as contact information, we can always find you on Facebook, too.
The Artists of Modesto site is always got that information, but we also have one for the tour itself. Stanislaw Artists Open Studio Tour.
Well, thank you very much for joining me this evening, and I look forward to having you back after the tour to let us know how it all